finally, we are here. We've got the Q&A to come, and thank you for being so patient with this. It's taken me quite some time to get round to putting this all together. And you probably wonder why after watching all of this. You go, well, just you answering some questions, but there was just a lot of them, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't duplicate or get stuck halfway through. And blah, blah. Anyway, here we go. First of all, the most important thing of all is to thank you, all of you. Thank you so much. 10,000 subscribers. It's crazy, right? Thank you to all of you who have made that possible. I've told you before, and I'll tell you again, you don't know what it means to me. It's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. I have got a stack of questions to get through, so I better get on with it, right? I didn't want to put them up on screen because then I'd be doing this and doing that and then doing this and doing that. So I've got something in front of me, which you can't see, sort of here, that will help me go through it all. Right here, sorry. One particular person's questions, I think you know who you are, Epiphany of Hope. I have actually a separate section just for you, but I'm going to keep coming back to those because some of them I can sort of interject as we go. And lastly, bit of Star Wars memorabilia. It was a popcorn bucket I got in the cinema. It's pretty cool. But inside here are some, hopefully, some sort of quickfire questions that I've cut up so I can pick them at random, and that makes it sort of slightly more interesting, maybe. On to the first question from XJakeVids. Mario Perez, why YouTube? Why do you do YouTube? I'm going to have to go into finding Owen's question a little bit here as well, who says congrats on the subs. But if any other person or YouTuber inspired you to create a channel, who would it be? Glyn has asked, what was your original inspiration and intention for your YouTube channel? So I'm going to try and answer all of those things in one. So when I started YouTube simply because my son had a channel. He's had a couple since then. I'd seen him make a couple of videos and he was getting some comments, and it was really, really cool. And I was, patting him on the back, and he just said, Dad, what do you do? You play games all the time. And I already had a website at the time I was doing game reviews for. I was just written reviews, and it was okay. It was a fun project for a little while, but it wasn't really taking off. There wasn't really much to it, and it was a very hard thing to get into, gaming review websites, of course, because there's loads of them out there. And that site, by the way, was called MenWhoStareAtGames.com. So my son said, why don't you do some YouTube? You said you talk a lot about games, and you talk a lot while you're playing games. And maybe some people would like to listen to that and give it a go. So I did. So why did I do it? Why not? Was more the answer to that question. And to say who inspired me to do it, that was definitely my son. And the intention for my channel, I had no idea. Originally it was like I'd do a few tips videos, some gameplay randomly of bits here and there, record it, put it up and see what reaction I got. Really, that was the original intention. There wasn't much of one. And I guess I was just experimenting, just trying something new, something to do. And then I really started enjoying it because I got some feedback and I got to meet some people, and I started talking to them online, and then I started playing games with them online, and I've now started talking to you guys like really regularly. So it's more like not really why did I start, but why won't I stop? And it's simply because of you. Thank you. Because you just make it so much fun to do, and the feedback I get means that you want me to continue doing it, I think. So humbly, I will continue to do so. So the future intention, Glyn, which is your next question, I intend to make it mainly Let's Plays. I might convert what I'm doing into cut Let's Plays. It's just that requires a lot more editing time, which I do run out of time. That is, I run out of time. I think I may do some more tips videos that I've done, because that's what really I think gets people to watch the rest of the content on the channel, so I'll probably continue doing that. And then maybe a few other things. Next question, Glyn, going back to you. When it comes to scones, or scones, do you put the cream first or the jam first? This is the most important, and a wrong answer could result in tragedy, says Glyn. I know getting this wrong has led to murder in some parts of the country. I need to be very, very careful what I say. I'm going to start off by saying that you can spread it on whichever way you like. That doesn't matter to me, and I'm sure it doesn't matter to you, Glyn, either. But I put the cream on first and then the jam on top of that. Is that okay? The Devon way. That's the Devon you know, the county of Devon. That's the way they do it. Tim Sajovic. I keep doing itch, and I'm sure you're not an itch. Favorite thing about YouTube and doing YouTube. So Andrea, that's kind of the similar thing that you asked in one of the previous videos. I guess I've covered that a little bit already, because my favorite thing about doing it now is not what I thought it would be, but it's actually speaking and streaming and talking to you guys. I love that you love it. Reading your comments is it makes my day, and some of the really nice stuff you say about me and to me, that's all cool. But I love your excitement when we're talking about the game and like something major's happened, and you laugh at my reaction, or you cannot wait to see the next video, and it's just having that interaction, that two-way thing is what is my absolute favorite thing about YouTube. Andrew, you've also asked, would you take YouTube over any job you could have? Yes, I think I probably would. Jake, you've asked, how did you get noticed on YouTube? I think the thing I did that really worked for me was putting up regular videos. I made sure I did 2 or 3 videos a week when I started. Far Cry. That was really what got me noticed. So Far Cry 4. I started doing a few how-tos and a few tips videos, but also a few walkthroughs. And I was just knocking those videos out like at least once a day, if not more. But I think the thing that really got me noticed earlier on was some of those Share Factory tips, but mainly Far Cry 4. I was just lucky because a game is what really worked for me. Although, you know, that's how I got started. It's not the only way to do any of this. Okay, let's take a break and go into the bucket. Completely random. And it is from Jacob Mitchell. He says, will you make a PO box? Yeah, I guess I should do. If you guys are gonna if you want to send me something, you know, that'd be really, really cool. So maybe I'll get a PO box, and then you guys can send me something in the post if you like, whatever it may be, as long as it's not, you know, removed body parts or anything like that. From Carter Leach, would you rather be a cow with mad cow disease or a raccoon with rabies? A cow with mad cow disease, because, you know, if I was going to die of something, going slightly mad before you die is probably quite fun, so I'll do that. This is from Mad Matt. He says, what are your thoughts on the Red Dead Redemption 2 rumours? It is one of my favourite games in recent years, so I cannot wait. I am really, really psyched for it, and as soon as I can see I can pre-order it, I will be pre-ordering it. So yeah, can't wait for that. Alright, we'll do one more here. It is from Ben Morgan. He says, hey Sam, congrats on the 10k. What is your opinion on the rumoured 0.5 versions of the PS4 and Xbox One? Will we see them this year, and would you get one? I'm recording this particular question just after the E3 event, so we know the Xbox One, there are 2 new versions coming out. One is called, one's a smaller version. Finally, you don't have this huge power pack outside the box, and it's a bit smaller. Their version of a 4K machine, it'll have Ultra Ray HD, 4K Ultra Ray, Ultra something that plays 4K discs, but the Scorpio, the Xbox Scorpio, is there. It will support VR, which the PS4 already does, of course. Although the current PS4 is supposed to be able to support VR, as we now know they're going to launch VR this year, the new console will offer a better experience. Would I get one? That's a very good question. I'm not sold yet on getting the PS4 headset. I really want to play with one before I buy one, you know. I don't know how much I would use it. I've had a go on a VR headset, a Galaxy one, you know. It's just one which is on a phone, and it was cool, but it was after a while I got a bit, I know I've never been motion sick in my life, but even I went a bit, whoa, trippy, really, really trippy. Really not sure if I would buy one. I want to play, you know. If I can afford one, if say I get a bonus, you know, a nice little windfall, and I think, well, I can't think what else to spend this $399 on. Maybe tempted, we'll see. Okay, Epiphany of Hope, let's start with some of your questions. We've got a lot to get through. Okay, so you sort of split your questions into random personal-ish questions and a second set of gaming questions. 20 questions. We should play that game. That's written. No, let's not. Okay, so first of all, you've asked, what are those other photos or pictures or paintings in the background? I guess you mean these ones. See, how hard is that to do? There. So starting from the top, we've got me and my son. We were in the car, I was driving, and we were waiting to get on a ferry to go to the Isle of Wight on holiday when he was about like 3 years old, I think. So that's me and him. Then just down below that is another picture of me and him. I just absolutely love that picture. I was just carrying him. He was really tired. And at the bottom there is actually my brother-in-law, my son on the left, a little bit grown up, and my nephew. So that's why you can actually call me Uncle Sam. And the main painting is not really painting. It's a type of art called marquetry. It's made out of wood. It's just made out of very thin wood veneer. Basically, my granddad made it before he died, and he made about 3 or 4 of them, and I got that one after he passed away. You've asked, and you asked what the song was playing in that video. That was this one, right? Well, it is called "You Are Welcome Here" by Martin Karlberg. I get a lot of music from Epidemic Sound, and this is just one of them. I agree, it's a nice song. And another question from you, Epiphany, is, are there any YouTube videos we wouldn't guess you like to watch? Well, I have watched recently a lot of Cats Are Jerks videos. They are ridiculously funny, and yeah. So yeah, you hit the nail on the head right there. You probably wouldn't imagine that I would have enjoyed some of PewDiePie's videos. I've seen a couple of those recently and I've actually laughed out loud. I think they're brilliant. I occasionally watch like some of the shows that we don't get over here, like America's Got Talent. I might watch the odd act that pops up on there. Like, I love the sound of a good singing voice. Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, I've dipped in and out of those guys a couple of times, but only recently. Other than that, not a hell of a lot. There's another question here. You said before you said you quit smoking. How is that going? Still smoke free? Hell yes, still smoke free. It has been nearly 6 months and I haven't smoked a single cigarette. I put my last one out on something like the 15th of January, and I haven't wanted one since then. It was easy, there were no cravings. There is an easy way to do it. Really, really, really simple. I smoked for 20 years, about 15 a day. That is going very well. Thank you so much for reminding me that I've done that. I'm immensely proud of myself. Pat on the back for doing that. Another one of your questions, Epiphany. In one of your recent videos, you mentioned you were looking for a new job. You currently work in IT, is that right? Yes. Are you looking to switch careers or stay in the same area? Well, I actually went for a job interview today, which is, I've taken the day off to go to the interview. I am looking to get another job in the same area. The only other thing that I would love to do, of course, is YouTube. Do you have any tattoos or piercings? Yes, but I don't wear them anymore. When I was a student, I had two piercings in this ear. And I used to wear little hoop rings that my great-great-grandmother used to wear. And I have a tattoo. Yes, I have a tattoo. Oh, God, I can't lift this thing up. And I have a tattoo. There, look. Of a sun. And I got it done when my son, see what I did with that, was born. And that was a little doodle I used to draw all over my books when I was at school. And so I took the drawing into the tattooist and said, can you put that on my arm? And he scanned it and put a transfer on my arm, and then just went and etched and scratched and stabbed me repeatedly for about 90 minutes. Okay, another one from you, Epiphany. What kind of car do you drive? Do you like cars, and what's your dream car? Well, I drive a Hyundai Coupe. Do I like cars? Yeah, okay. I mean, I've not got a major passion. What is my dream car? I have always loved the look and sound of an Aston Martin Vantage. Okay, Tim, you've asked, who is my favourite YouTuber and why? And in brackets, I can't pick myself. Damn it. It was so going to be me. I don't really watch many other YouTubers like religiously. There's no one I always like tune in on, but I love listening to and watching my good friend Sovereign. I think he's got an underrated talent that one day will be rated. Much higher than it already is. I actually, and some of you are going to hate me. My son is probably never going to let me forget this. I actually really quite like PewDiePie. I think I didn't watch any of his earlier stuff. I've only really started watching what he's done in the last say, few months, and the guy's got a real talent. Jack, gotta like Jacksepticeye, the Rad Brad. I think he's got way about him. I love his voice. He's pretty unique. But of course, Frankie PC. I think he's an incredible YouTuber. He doesn't bring out stuff regularly, but when he does bring a video out and I see it pop up, oh my god, I gotta watch this. And he's always genuinely really nice to watch. I've named enough now. I don't have favorites, but they are all my favorite YouTubers, and I suppose they're big. I mean, for a reason, right? Lord Munaz. I love that name. What do you do outside YouTube, like job and hobbies? Well, my job, I work in IT, e-commerce, things online, troubleshoot, deploy, configure, all that kind of thing. Hobbies, well, this, other than gaming. Gaming I have always done. I like to go running 2-3 times a week, although I can't right now because I'm injured. So again, Derpy Wolf, that sort of answers your question as well. What do you do for a living? Let's go back into the buckets from everything. How did you come up with the channel name MenWhoStareAtGames? It was the name of a website I used to run called MenWhoStareAtGames.com. The name came from a discussion I was having with a friend of mine, and we were talking about names for gaming websites. The film Men Who Stare at Goats had just been mentioned. I think I went, oh, what about Men Who Stare at Games? It was like, okay, that'll do. Let's do it. So when I've got the YouTube channel, I just took the name with me. From Michael Payton, why won't you continue your tabletop racing series? Well, I apologise for not having continued it. Well, I think if you go check channel in about 10 minutes after the end of this, there'll be a tabletop racing series episode up just for you, Michael. Thank you very much for reminding me to get back to it. It's a great game. Andries van Bruggen, would you consider playing Ghost Recon Wildlands? Yes, already pre-ordered, my friend. Not a problem. Easy question to answer that one. From Tim, who is my favourite game developer? Ooh, that's a good one. Bethesda. Has to be Bethesda. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Sorry, there are so many good developers, but Bethesda. Yeah. Nazar, from Nazar, what is your favourite sport? Well, got a few I like. Again, I don't have a favourite one, I suppose. I like a lot of things for different reasons. I like watching, I think on TV, I always try to watch Formula 1. I know it's not technically a sport because the guys are sitting down the whole time, but I like watching tennis, just the major tournaments because I don't get time to watch much else. Football, of course. Rugby, of course, but only rugby only really the national games and the major tournaments. Football I like as well. So yeah, but I do like other sports. Those are the ones I would probably say are my favourites. From Andrews again, what is your explained and in-depth opinion about the Netherlands? Wow. How do I answer that? I went there 3 times. I thought everybody there was really, really friendly, very nice. I don't like the fact that when I asked for a beer, half of it was foam. I do like the cafes and the coffee shop. Yeah, I had a very funny experience where I actually passed out cold in Amsterdam from something. And that was a lot of fun. I give the tourists something to photograph anyway. I like that the whole country wants to use bicycles. It's very, very environmentally friendly and it's very flat. And everybody I've ever met that's come from Holland, really nice people. Oh, and I loved their style of football. There you go. That's not very in-depth. Right, next up, overused memes. Would you prefer to be a vegetarian or only eat meat? Also keep up the videos, thank you. If I had to only do one or the other, I would prefer to be a vegetarian. That's quite easy because I think all the flavours, that's mainly why. Darren Allway, you've asked, did you have a ZX Spectrum back in the day? I didn't. I had a BBC Micro and then an Amiga. I didn't have a ZX Spectrum. My friends did and I got to play on theirs. What is my wildest memory or story? You know, no. Okay, next up, Matsku. Oh, this is going to be an embarrassing one. Can you speak these Finnish words? Hey. Hyvää huomenta. Kaveri. I hope that was okay. Probably not. Sorry if that was awful, but you know. MTB Rev, you've asked, Cause or Bex? Well, I'm not going to advertise, but I would say Cause. That's lager, by the way. Portuguese Gamer, you've asked, what is life? Well, how do I answer that question? What is life? I'm not sure I can justify any kind of answer for that question. I guess life is what you make it. Whatever kind of importance you want to put on it, you do that yourself. Life is you. I have a question from Mellow Yellow. Why is a boxing ring called a ring even though it is square? That's a difficult question, isn't it? Yes, it is. But I believe it's because when boxing first started, all of the spectators would stand around the pugilists, the fighters, in a ring, in a circle. So it became known as the ring. Why it's square now, I can only assume it's a design thing. I don't really know. But Orphy B, you've asked, do you have a girl/boyfriend? Do you sleep naked? And what time do you go to bed? Now, these are very personal questions. I am currently single. I don't have a girlfriend. It would be a girlfriend, by the way. Do you sleep naked? No. What time do you go to bed? When I'm tired. Usually. Around midnight. Cillian Dennehy, you've asked, do you like chicken? And why? Yes, because it tastes good. Martin Laurent, do you play any sports? If so, what is your favourite? I don't play any sports right now. I had a game of badminton with my son last weekend. That was really good. I like swimming and running. Vicky, you've asked, what is my favourite game character? I would say Pagan Min. It's the one I can remember as being awesome character. Pagan Min, I think he's pretty cool, from Far Cry 4. Philip Barber, which football team do you support? Manchester United. Tim, you've asked, can you show Slovenia on a map without Googling it first, and how much do you know about it? Oh, that's a good one. I'm pretty sure I know where it is. I can describe it to you. So if you've got the boot of Italy, I haven't got a boot, then you would go up to the top of the boot, and it would be on that side of it here. Anyway, sort of here. If this is the leg of Italy going down into the Mediterranean. Is that right? I think that's where it is. I didn't Google that. Promise. Portuguese Gamer, have you ever been depressed? And if so, did you overcome it? How did you overcome it? I guess, I don't know. I don't know about any long-term depression. I've seen some of my family members go through depression. And the only way I've seen them get through it, we all have our moments, right? The only way to overcome it is to keep reminding yourself of what is good, what you do have, and stop concentrating on what you don't. But I guess a good way, if that is something that is affecting you or anyone you know, as I'm talking to all of you, then seek some counselling, get some help, talk about it, make sure that you share your feelings with others, because that is the only way to get through something like that. You can't deal with it on your own. A question from BJ20715. This is a really cool question, actually. Do you think, in brackets, how to put this delicately, I like you being sensitive to me, but that's okay, I'm not offended. Being older than the typical gaming channel, the gaming channel presenter, gives you a different insight on the games you review. I mostly ask because as someone older than you, I seem to really connect with and enjoy your how-tos and playthroughs. Really interesting question. Everybody has a unique insight, and everyone has their own opinion. I have been playing games since I could walk, or probably before that even. I actually remember my granddad had the original Pong game from Atari for the TV, and from there on, playing 8-bit games. So I guess in a way I would say I'm probably more appreciative of today's current generation of graphics and gaming experiences, because they've become more than just a game to play. A game to play with simple stuff when I started have now become almost fully immersive movies that I'm taking part in. I guess in a way I've seen gaming as an industry evolve over time, my entire lifetime. So I'm probably a lot easier to please with the current generation of games, and I'm less critical of them considering what I've played in the past. And all my favourite games are from the modern era. So I guess I've got the advantage of knowing what it was like to play some of those early games and see the whole industry evolve. So I guess that in itself has probably given me a different perspective on games from a lot of the younger YouTubers, younger gamers, who enjoy gaming just as much as I do. It's just probably didn't have to put up with some of the crap over the years, if that makes any sense. You've also asked, I know you have a real job and that these videos take a bit of work to put together. Yeah. Do you have time for other hobbies? Not really at the moment, no. If so, what do you enjoy most when you're not gaming or editing? Okay, so I do like to watch films and TV shows as well. But I'll talk about my favourite TV shows in a bit. When do I usually record? You seem to put up stuff quite often, so I'm thinking it's not just a weekend thing. Oh no, it is not just a weekend thing. But I will game and record every night, every day probably. It's very, very rare a day goes by that I don't record something or edit something. Thank you so much for that question, really cool. Right, we're going back to Epiphany of Hope. Describe your typical day. Wow. Okay, my typical day is after get up, go for a shower. This weekday, get up, go for a shower, have something to eat, cup of tea, walk down the road, get on the train, go to work, come back, and I'll call my son, and then I will usually sit down and start gaming like I just said, or editing, replying to comments, maybe get an hour of TV before I pretty much go to bed and start all over again the next day. Okay, another question from you, Epiphany. What is your favourite drink? I guess I would be typically British and say I like a good old cup of tea, which I do. I drink tea and coffee and beer, I suppose. I probably drink more beer than any of those other things. Do I like comics? If so, which ones? Well, I used to, actually. I used to read a lot of comics. My dad was big into comics, Batman and Superman and Spider-Man, the sort of Marvel and DC world when I was a kid, and I read a lot of those that he had, actually, from the the 40s, even some of the really, really old comics. Actually, I love the TV shows and films based on comics. Things like The Preacher, which is just started. I'm really enjoying that. That's a lot of fun. So I'm not directly, but I enjoy the genre. I get to benefit from seeing the stuff that it produces. What is your favourite food, you ask? And do you like to cook? Bacon and eggs. And I can cook that pretty damn well. Poached eggs as well. I can poach an egg like nobody else. But do I like to cook? Yeah, from time to time. Occasionally I might cook something up, but yeah, don't have much time to do it these days. Okay, on to one of your gaming questions, Epiphany. What games, if any, do you play but not show on your channel? Every game I ever played for 2 years ago. Every game I've ever played. A little bit of Minecraft, which I wouldn't put on the channel necessarily. And some stuff from inside a game where I'm just maybe going collecting or building something or experimenting. But to be honest, not much. Next up, you've asked, do I like playing games like Legend of Zelda or Lego games? And would you show them on your channel? Well, actually, I did used to play a lot of those Lego games. And yeah, I don't see why not. So yeah, I probably would. Legend of Zelda. I think I played a Zelda game on the Wii, and I know it's a massive, massive game, but it's not something that I got into, not because it wasn't good, just because it's sort of just me and gaming didn't collide when Zelda was big, that's all. Anything you wish you could do in Uncharted 4 that you can do in other open world games? It's really interesting. I think the only thing that would be cool, that's not really needed for the game, but it would be quite cool, is if you could maybe modify weapons. Pick your own loadout in the game. So you could craft the loadout for the start of the level. You can always swap guns as you go and decide what you would take with you in the middle of the level. But it'd be nice if you could start out a level with your choice of guns, if you know what I mean. So that'd be the only thing, but it's not a major thing. I think Uncharted 4 is pretty damn good as it is. I probably wouldn't touch anything about it, to be honest. Okay, so Joseph South and Jacob Mitchell and Andries van Bruggen, you've all asked a very, very similar question. Can I do a setup video? Can I do a little home tour, a gaming setup video? I will do that, but I'm not going to do that on this video. It probably warrants a video of its own, but yeah, I need to tidy it before I show you, and I'm not showing you now. But I promise you I will do a setup video. Anthony Holochuk, you've asked, early congratulations on 10k, thank you mate, and for my question, I want to know why you're so cool. So look, I'm just gonna Google it. Why am I so cool? Okay, well, let's try this one. What do we got? Why? Because you live in the North Pole. Okay, the Happy Murder Man, you've asked for my best YouTube starting tips. Now that's a really interesting one. I'm going to actually repeat something I sent to the Elite Assassin some time ago. There's a few things to do and not to do. One, use social media. Get on Twitter and Facebook and get your friends to follow and watch your vids. Start following other gamers and make sure you follow them back. 2, keep making quality content. These days people want high definition vids. Nothing else is really going to do anymore. Number 3, make your thumbnails stand out. People will see a load of videos in a list. If yours stands out, the more likely it is they will click on it. Number 4, make videos that you would search for online. Number 5, if you've got a bit of money spare, then it can be worth promoting a video now and again with Google Ads. Something I don't do anymore, but I did when I started. Arguable, maybe worth doing or not. You can join a network. They've got some people who can help, like Freedom. That's the network I'm with. You don't have to do that. They helped me get off the ground, really. Just some helpful advice and tips. Number 7, I would say make sure your channel is branded throughout. Something I still struggle with, but get yourself a logo, get yourself a name. Make sure your thumbnails are, uniform. There's something about them that always looks like it's come from you in a way. Answer all the comments. It helps people interact with you, and they're more likely to come back if they know you're going to listen to them and you talk to them. And believe me, that is the most fulfilling part about YouTube. Don't do sub for sub, please, for God's sake. Will the world stop doing I'll sub to you if you sub back to me? I hate it. You're not getting views, you're just getting people who are using you like you're really using them. If you want genuine subscribers who will watch your videos, you have to let it grow naturally. Don't spam other people's videos with the links to yours. Bad karma. Other YouTubers hate it. Don't give up. It does take a lot of time. Some YouTubers have huge, rapid growth and success seemingly overnight and full marks to them. Some, like me, slowly grow over long periods of time. You just got to keep plugging away. Never give up. Sebastian, you've asked me, what would you do if you get 100,000 subscribers? Wow. I don't know. What do you think I should do? All right, so next up we've got a similar question from both Tim and Richard Cooney. Tim, you said a favourite video of you made by you, and Richard, you said, what has been your favourite YouTube video to make so far? One stands out. Well, there are two that stand out. One, the Far Cry Best Weapons video. When I made it, I actually thought that, although I've done a lot of editing since, I thought that was one of the ones I enjoyed editing the most. I really did think I thought at the time I'd done a really good job. I look back and I would probably do it a bit differently. But the one video that I really enjoyed getting music for and editing was actually the Fallout 4 tips video. I just enjoyed creating that video. It took a couple of days, several days to make. Probably my absolute favourite one that I've made so far that I'm most proud of was the games coming up in 2016. It's actually currently my channel trailer. 2-minute video, 5 or 6 days, no, even longer, good week and a half's worth of work and editing and music and timing, and even now I just still not quite right. I really wish I could do it all over again. I think it's one of the best videos I've made. Lee Green, you've asked, I have just completed Far Cry 4, but I'm really struggling still with the hunting. Have you got any tips? Get the hang of using the bow. The autocross, again, useful for hunting because you can very quickly fire loads of those arrows at the animals. Get on an elephant and just shoot from on top of the elephant. You're not going to get harmed while you're up there. I hope that helped. Dr. Frenzy, what is your favourite series you have done on the channel so far? What is the series you have had the most fun making videos for? As a series, it's the one I've done for by far the longest, and that is the Fallout 4 series. It's the one I've enjoyed doing the most because there's just so much content and I've got a lot of good feedback from you guys about it. So that's the one that I guess is my favourite series. The series I've had the most fun making videos for was actually the Batman Arkham Knight, simply because after about episode 5 or 6 I started doing these intros for it, and I loved making the intros for them. About 30 seconds worth of cuts and scenes from the video as it was, the rest of the video, just timed with a bit of music, and I just really enjoyed making those videos on that series. The Lord Phenom, you've asked something a little bit similar to XLTDX. When did you start playing video games? Do you have any other passions or hobbies? And XLTDX, you've asked what made you do games and why? If it's about doing YouTube, okay, I hopefully I've answered that at the beginning. Why do I like playing games? I mean, it's always something I've done. When I was younger, there wasn't much to do. We only had 3 TV channels, for God's sake. Something fun. It was something me and my friends just did together. It was partly social. You get a sense of achievement, satisfaction. It's another way of taking in a story. I enjoy the medium. I would rather play a game than read a book. Or 100%. I love how games are now becoming a fully fledged storytelling genre. The acting, the lighting, the direction, the script. Do you have any other passions or hobbies? Yes. I watch TV, I like movies, Okay, another one from you, Epiphany. Of all the characters you have played, which one has the ability, talent, or power you would love to have? Well, the talent, power, and abilities of every single game character I can think of, apart from maybe the ones in Zombie. I would like the ability to respawn. I think that's a knockout answer. Okay, you've also asked, Epiphany, are you thinking about purchasing any VR equipment? Have you used any before? Yes, I have used the Samsung Galaxy VR headset. I'm not convinced just yet that I'll get it straight away. What gaming accessories or other consoles do you really want? I don't really want another console at the moment. It would be cool to have an Xbox just for some of the exclusive games. So I guess if I had to pick something, it would be an Xbox One. Or what is the most disappointing game that you have played this year? Ooh, good question. I have to say, it's still a good game. I've built it up a lot more in my head. When I played it, I was just slightly disappointed, just slightly. And it's Mirror's Edge Catalyst. What is the game that surprised you the most? Wow, actually, Life is Strange. I wasn't expecting to get sort of sucked into it. It was a Telltale kind of game. It was very powerful, very deep, very emotive. Good story, kept me wanting to go back. Good voice acting, nice style to it. I just wasn't expecting it to be that good. Have you ever played The Sims, and did you like it? Yes, I've played it. Yes, I liked it at first. Do you play any sports games? Yes, I've played FIFA. I've probably played, a lot of driving games. I don't like the Maddens or the basketball games. I just don't really get on with them. Not many, to be honest. And you've said you should stop asking questions now. You apologise if you've repeated any questions from others. Thank you so much for being awesome. A few more quick fires. Tim, tell us your life story. Wow. Okay, do you know what? I might well save that one for another video. Very much like the game setup. Tim, you've also asked... You've got a few in here. Most anticipated game in the near future. Well, I guess now it's going to... Oh, wow, there's so many from E3. Oh, before E3, I would have said Red Dead Redemption. After E3, the new God of War looks superb. Honestly, total change of style of telling the God of War story. That looks awesome. Also, one called Days Gone. That looks... pretty damn cool, actually. Go check that one out. And of course, Horizon Zero Dawn, which I've wanted to play for quite some time now. And E3, they showed us a little more footage. Slightly different graphics. I think they've changed the graphics output for it, but it still looks like a fantastic game. Okay, next up, Andrea. Andrea Davis, you've asked, my favourite gaming platform. Easy, that's the PS4. William Taylor, do you play games you don't put on YouTube? Not much, actually, but... yes, I guess I mentioned Minecraft. I don't really put that up there. But NASA, you've asked, do you have a child? Yes, I do. I have one son, and he is wicked. Wicked as in good, not wicked as in evil. Hit Gaming Vamp, most anticipated game you want to play in 2016? In 2016, now we know when they're all coming, I guess it will be No Man's Sky. Andrea Davis, you've asked, what does your toaster look like, and are you satisfied with it? One of the most philosophical questions I think anyone's ever asked me. That's my toaster, and I'm very satisfied with it. Joseph South, you've asked, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? If you could remove all the poisonous things, Sydney, Australia, or maybe New York, or California. If you removed, no, I don't actually know. No. Oh, I don't know. Yes, whatever. Cadment X. Nice name. Do you play PS4? If yes, what will you play? Yes, I do, and I will play as much as I can. So from XJake Vids, Tim, someone who really likes games, and Tim again, what is my favourite movie? And then we go into TV. So let's say, right, my favourite movie by far, Jake, and you already had me here, is The Shawshank Redemption. I think it's still my favourite film of all time. Why? Watch it. You'll find out. What is your favourite TV series? It has to be Game of Thrones. Breaking Bad's right up there, and Walking Dead, but it's Game of Thrones. Simply because it's got this, it's so story rich. The acting is top notch. Tim and Portuguese Gamer, you've both asked, do I have any pets? I don't have any pets currently, although in the past, my family have always had pets. When I was younger, we had dogs and cats and horses and even sheep at one point. I don't know how. At one point we had 6 dogs and 6 cats. Portuguese, you've also asked, okay, just the last question in the bucket here. You've asked, wait, isn't today your birthday? You said, no. Unless you're watching this on July the 15th. Okay, we've got another question here from Portuguese Gamer. What is your opinion on gay marriage? Have I ever been depressed or bullied? And yeah, man, everyone's been bullied. I was definitely bullied at school quite a lot. I could answer that better if I said what's my opinion on marriage. I don't think that there should be so much emphasis and incentive certainly in the UK, to be married and remain married. I think it should be more accepted that people don't stay married for life. It seems to be accepted in some places much more than it is in the UK and Europe. But I think that marriage itself is something that shouldn't really benefit the people involved over two people who just want to spend their lives together for however long that may be. So I guess the best answer I can give you is that I've really got more of a problem with the concept of marriage and how the law treats marriage versus anybody else, whether they're the same sex or different sexes. I don't really care about that. Your other question below is, how do you feel about Tim, Aaron, David, Andrea, me, Vicky, Preston, Matt, Scoo, Toxic Plays, Jake, and everybody else taking the time out of their day to watch you? It simply humbles me, really, and I am so grateful. You know that, man. The last question of the Q&A. So, Zach, you've started with, what is your favourite game and why? Tim, what's your favourite game of this year? Michael Hilton, what is your top 3 favourite games you've played besides The Last of Us? AC, want to piggyback Zach's question and ask you for your top 10 favourite games. Round it out for us if you don't mind. Okay, here we go. Starting at number 10. Now, this is simply because I had such a laugh with it, and it was the first sort of online experience I ever had with, well, not the first, but the one I enjoyed, I think, the most was Mario Kart. I think that's definitely my number 10. Number 9, some of them more than others, way more than others, Call of Duty. Again, it was the first experience of playing with a group of mates online. Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops. Number 8, Metal Gear Solid. I remember playing the first 2 games distinctly, long time ago. I think it was on one of them on the Amiga. Of course, Metal Gear Solid 5 last year, just brilliant. Number 7, Bioshock, mainly Bioshock 2, but Bioshock Infinite was brilliant, and the first one was superb, but really good series of games. Number 6, Batman. The Arkham series, I guess Arkham City was my favourite, but Arkham Asylum was what really made me start the series. I just thought the combat system was so cool. I'd not played any game with that kind of combat before. The slow-mos are just stunning. Number 5, Mass Effect, mainly because it was the biggest surprise. People have been saying to me for years, oh, have you played Mass Effect? I was like, no, I've not tried it, just missed it. And they said, oh, go on, just give it a go. So on the PS3, I got Mass Effect 2, because you couldn't play the original Mass Effect when I first found it. I was bowled over. I really just got so engrossed in that game, and then of course Mass Effect 3 after that, and I'm really looking forward to Andromeda. In 4th position, Red Dead Redemption. Yes, it's at the forefront of my mind, but it was such fun to play. And I remember that, you know, the follow-up where everybody was a zombie. That was even fun. And I can't wait for the second game, which is probably why it's up there at the moment, because I'm thinking how much I enjoyed it. In 3rd. And again, as you gave me the excuse, AC 521, to sort of use series, because I can't pick. But in 3rd place, we've got the Far Cry series. Of course, I guess Far Cry 4 and 3, I enjoyed them kind of equally. In 2nd, equal place, which is maybe something you weren't expecting. I can't pick between the 2, but they are The Elder Scrolls versus Skyrim, because I haven't played any other Elder Scrolls game. Forgive me for that. Of course, the Fallout series. I started with Fallout 2, 3, New Vegas, and Fallout 4. I loved all of those. Number 1 game of all time, The Last of Us. A lot of you already know that is my favourite game, simply because it was the first game when I'd finished it, I missed it. It left a hole in my heart. I just fell in love with the characters in that game, the relationship, the first time I felt like I was watching a film, and that I never wanted to end. It was just beautifully made, beautifully done, and a lot of games are learning. You can see this year's E3 events, there's 2 or 3 games in there that I'm thinking, all right, my God, could you have been any more influenced by a game like The Last of Us? And of course, Naughty Dog really raised the bar with that game for me. That's it from this Q&A. I know it's taken quite some time to get through all the questions. Thank you so much for your support. 10,000 subscribers. I did not think that could ever happen to this channel, and it has. So Thank you for all your questions. I hope I have answered them. I've tried my best to answer them to the best of my ability, with the exception of one or two, but we'll save those for another time. Thank you all for contributing. Thank you all for supporting me. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You have my heart, guys. Thank you so much. I'll be back with more on this channel. You know where to come. Take care. Thanks and good night.